Hello Aquarius, welcome to your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of March 26th through April 1st. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to go beyond what I'm saying. Okay. Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you, and here is a Four of Cups. Well, let's see. Let's suspend judgment till we get there. We're going to do, excuse me, we're going to do our Dove and Serpent spread. And as I lay these cards out, I do just want to say if there's anything that you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments to this video, okay? So we're going to do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. And we're going to leave that right there. We're not going to look at it until the very end of the reading. So I do hope you'll stay around until the end, all right? And hopefully that'll tie everything together, give us the confirmation that we need at the end of things, all right? So looking around here, we've got some water, water, fire, fire, water in the court cards. We've got some earth, some fire, and some majors. So we don't really have a lot of air. No, I don't see any air at all. So I feel like there's kind of, there's something going on that you're not really talking about. Okay. I think that there is, well, let's get into this first card first. The Four of Cups. This is kind of, this is being comfortable, right? This is trying to trust your feelings, trying to, well, first of all, be aware of how you feel, right? I think you're someone who is usually pretty aware of their feelings and how their feelings give them a sense of meaning or value in other things, right? Kind of it's how we judge situations or people or whatever, you know? When you meet someone, when you're in a situation, you get a feeling, right? You get an emotion. Does it give you pleasure or aversion? Are you happy or sad when you think about this situation, or when you're in this room or talking to this person? How do you feel? Because that'll give you a good idea of the value that that situation or that person has for you. Not its intrinsic value, but its relative value to you. Okay. I think that sometimes you struggle with listening to those feelings. You know? I think that you maybe sometimes even try to deny or ignore those feelings. You know? I think you like to be comfortable. You like to be kind of mellow. You like to be safe, right? This Four of Cups, this is kind of like a ship that's in a harbor. It's kind of anchored in the bay, let's say, okay? The bay is pretty protected. It's safe, right? There are no holes in the boat. It's not sinking. But it's not sailing anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's not out experiencing the seven seas or, you know, traveling the world or getting into storms, finding new ports. And it's in the bay. It's safe. It's stable. It's not going anywhere, right? It's staying afloat, which is good. But it doesn't have a direction or a purpose, right? Because with that direction, with that movement, if we were to go out of the bay and start sailing the oceans, there's risk out there. There are krakens and sea monsters and white whales and all sorts of stuff. It's risky out there. In the bay here, we're safe. We're protected from the weather, right? We're protected from the air, those conversations that we don't want to have. We're protected from the air, where there's no air in the reading here. But we're also closing ourselves off to any kind of satisfaction or fulfillment or adventure or, you know, excitement. So I wonder what's going on with you this week where there is now coming your way this opportunity for some real happiness, or the pursuit of real happiness. There's an adventure that is kind of, you've gotten the invitation for it. Okay, this Nine of Cups could literally be an invitation somewhere. Okay, so literally or figuratively, the invitation to adventure is coming your way. It's like at your doorstep right now, right? And I wonder if, with all of this water that we see on the horizontal plane, right? This really is like the ocean. We're in this bay, and this is like the seas around us. We have in the recent past kind of what we are already familiar with. The Queen of Cups, right? This is the current situation. This is what we've known for a long time. This is maybe what our parents did, what our parents' parents did, the way of life, the way that they have always responded to life, the kind of emotional habits that we pick up from our parents' parents that are passed down through the generations, right? This is our way of reacting and responding and judging and valuing things. Okay, this is kind of the old school, right? And this is kind of, this could be literally a maternal figure, a mom, grandma, older sibling, an aunt or something. I feel an older feminine energy in kind of a mom role that maybe is still pressuring you or still influencing you in some way. It could be that they have ascended to a higher plane, but with this current opportunity for adventure, let's say, this invitation to adventure, for some reason it makes you think of, well, I know my mom wouldn't like that, or that you would be in some way going against her wishes, or going against the tradition of her kind of maternal line. You know what I mean? It's a little confusing still how this is really connected. But I feel like this is, and it could be that this maternal figure is still around, and you are reluctant to take advantage of this invitation to adventure because of how this maternal figure would feel about it, right? Because of their emotional value judgments, right? So I don't know who that person is. Could be a Pisces person. I feel a maternal energy. I feel like that's kind of a person that says, do as I say, not as I do, right? I feel like they have instilled in you a certain way of behaving, a certain way of conducting yourself, or of living, or of judging and valuing life. But it's kind of confusing if they actually live by those same standards. You know what I mean? They're behind that veil. So I feel like they're giving you all of these instructions, kind of, but there's no way to know if they're actually living the same way or not, or if, you know what I mean? They are, again, do as I say, not as I do. And I think that for whatever reason, there's still an influence on you. There are still issues there with that maternal figure that are causing this hesitation with this invitation to adventure, right? I don't know what else to call it. In the immediate future, we see some steps being taken in a new direction. This is really I think what you want to happen. This is the immediate future, but I think what this card's also saying is this is the future that you want, right? You don't know if this is literally what's going to happen in the immediate future. This is what you want to happen. You want this Princess of Cups. You want to depart from the tradition of this maternal figure and go your own way. even if it's in an unknown direction, even if you don't know what the hell you're doing, you're breaking free and you're going in your own direction, right? You're standing up and you're walking on your own 2 feet. The princess, still young, still learning things. Learning what its purpose is, learning how to rely on their own value judgments, their own kind of intuition, their own gut feelings, their own emotions. So I think this is an important step. This is what you want. You want to kind of break free from that control, maybe, from that influence. And you want to take steps in your own direction, free from the influence of that maternal figure, okay? But we've got this fire energy to contend with on the top and the bottom of the path of the dove. Fire, water, do not get along. In terms of elemental dignity, not so friendly here. So what I see beneath the surface is this fire energy, the Emperor, is influencing this situation, is causing some turbulence in this water. This feels like it should just be a steady flow, right? Coming out of the bay into the open ocean and taking the risks, right? Running into some sea monsters and dragons and whatever and having a good time doing it. It should just be an easy flow. But we've got this fire creating these storms, right? A lot of squalls, a lot of monsoons or what have you. A lot of friction and turbulence in what should be kind of smooth sailing, right? And some of that's coming from the Emperor. Now, is this coming from a father figure? Maybe, maybe not. Could be a paternal type person. But I think that this is the rather controlling, fiery force of this maternal figure, right? I think it's still kind of their influence in a way that even if they have ascended to a higher plane, I feel like their influence is still enough to disrupt the smooth sailing. Okay, it could be that this person really has a history of being quite controlling, maybe even manipulative. Okay, it could be a paternal figure, but I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I don't know where the paternal figure is. If this is a paternal figure, this is someone who is beneath the surface, someone that doesn't have the same kind of rank or influence as this Queen of Cups does, right? Because it's beneath the surface. So it almost feels like it's something subconscious in you, you know? And it could be the like a history, like the experiences of childhood and young adulthood in relation to this mother figure that still feels as if they're controlling your life, as if they are making the decisions for you, you know. Up above everything is the 10 of Wands. This is more fiery energy causing more disruption and turbulence in what should be smooth sailing. But this is different because this is kind of what you're looking for. It's like you want this storm, this thunder and lightning and wind and everything to maybe snap your anchor line and blow your sails and force you out to sea. You know? This is that kind of spiritual force and energy that this impulse, this fiery impulse that is going to push you in this new direction. Despite the kind of controlling influences that we see, this is kind of enough is enough, and you're just kind of breaking the chains just through sheer strength and power, you know, through sheer frustration, just breaking the chain and going. Just full force toward the mouth of the bay, and you're just snapping your anchor line. And you're just going, right? As soon as that anchor line snaps, you're going to feel the momentum going forward. You know, you're going to pick up speed pretty quickly. It's going to be abrupt. So this is a lot of that force and fire that you're trying to kind of use, almost a rage, you know, almost a rage I'm feeling. I feel like lately maybe it's been difficult for you to control your emotions. You know, with the fire and water, this is all fire and water over here. I feel like lately it's been more difficult for you to kind of keep a lid on how you feel. To keep a lid on the negative emotions, you know. And I think that's because you've kind of been under the influence of these two, this maternal figure and this kind of emperor controlling energy, which again I think is coming from that maternal figure. That now your own emotions, your own value judgments, your own desires and needs and wants and pursuits and all this water is not really, can't really be contained any longer. Okay? So I feel like your desired future, taking steps in your own direction, I think that's coming. I think it's going to be a rocky start. There's going to be some force. It's going to be that real push until that chain is broken, and then it's just the momentum. But I think it is happening. It's going to be a little turbulent, though. Okay. Path of the Serpent. We've got general energy, Knight of Pentacles here. I think you're someone who has proven to be a very responsible person, you know. I feel like you've probably always made fairly good decisions. I don't feel like you're someone who's taken a lot of risks. And again, I think that's because of this maternal influence. It feels like you've kind of stuck to tradition. You've stuck to, you know, you grow up, you go to school, you get married, you get a job, you have a family, whatever it is, whatever the traditions are. Not a lot of risks, not a lot of deviation, right? Straight and narrow kind of thing. And it's worked for you. You've made good decisions. You've built a life for yourself. You probably have a decent education, decent job, decent home, family. It's, you know, you've built that for yourself. And we kind of touched upon that with that Four of Cups at the beginning too. Because that was being comfortable with what we have. It's good. No complaints, really. You know, not a lot of innovation, not a lot of risk-taking, not a lot of excitement, but it's good. It's comfortable. It's safe. Okay. But I feel like in your environment, you're starting to get this. I mean, this is the Queen of Wands. This is that fiery energy, that impulse, this feeling it's now or never. You know, I feel like your environment, I feel like with this invitation to adventure, has got you lit up. It's really got you lit up, and you feel like now's my chance to really do something different, to really like figure out who I am. Figure out what it means to be fulfilled, what it means to really pursue my own heart's desires, my own goals and wishes, my own dreams, you know? So this is in your environment, and this could be maybe facilitated through a fire sign person in your life. If you have a spouse or a partner or a best friend, this could be someone who is there for you to encourage you. You know, to kind of, this could be where the invitation is coming from. Okay. It could be a fire sign person. The next two cards are what I really want to talk about. These are the best cards here. The powerful major arcana cards ending the path of the serpent. First is this Death card. Spooky, spooky. In the position of your fears, worries, and concerns, you're kind of afraid of the unknown. You're afraid of what it looks like out there beyond the mouth of the bay. Out in the open ocean, you're kind of afraid of the monsters out there. The kraken, the giant squid, the white whales, sea monsters, you know? This is a fresh start. This is literally you doing something completely new and unknown to you. You're going on this new adventure, maybe literally, but maybe it's a metaphor, you know. A fresh start, a starting over, a brand new everything or anything. And that could be a little frightening. That fear of the unknown is a real thing. because you are departing from what is known and comfortable. You're leaving the comfort of this bay that we're in. And you're taking these first few, nautical miles out into the open, unknown ocean. And that's the concern. That's a pretty concerning prospect. That's some heavy energy, But that's also the exciting energy, because this Death card is the clearing of the slate, the wiping clean of the tablet, and you can write your own story now. What are you going to write? What is your adventure going to be? Right? And that is kind of a scary thing too. Now I've got to think of something to write. I've got to think of something to do. I've got to learn myself again. I've got to learn what I'm into, what I'm interested in. What do I want my story to be? A lot of responsibility. But overcoming this is perfect union, perfect happiness. This is really you being united. It's the Lover's card, right? And if we think of our lover as our beloved, as our true self, our higher self, guardian angels, God, goddess, deity, universal mind, universal energy, that spiritual essence of life, that meaning, that purpose, that highest goal and highest ideal, that is your beloved. And this card is about uniting with that beloved, the ultimate and complete marrying of yourself to your true essence. So this card is the most wonderful card when it talks about fulfilling our purpose, fulfilling our destiny. By marrying ourselves to this journey, this adventure. Choosing fulfillment, choosing ourselves and our spiritual destiny, our spiritual needs, and our spiritual fulfillment over anything else. And I don't want to imply that pursuing your spiritual fulfillment is going to necessarily cause you to turn your back on this practical, manifested earthly life that you've built. Okay, that's not it. I'm not saying leave your job. I'm not saying leave your family. I think that all of this is part of your purpose. I think that you will find new ways to thrive and express yourself in this environment. In the life that you've already built. You don't have to get rid. It's not a literal, wiping everything off the table and kind of rebuilding everything. It might be, but it doesn't have to be that. Okay. But this is marrying yourself to the pursuit of your happiness, your highest spiritual goals. And I think through everything that we've talked about already, I think it's really an important process for you to break from these chains, to break free of your anchor and go your way and start learning about you and what does your spiritual fulfillment look like, right? Well, I think the image of it may change. The image of your beloved may change. But you'll know when you're making choices in that direction or you're making choices in a different direction. Mystery card. What is this mystery card? Well, I like this fire energy that we have here. I like that we have this fire. We've kind of channeled it in a way into this force, this energy, this real almost just this surge of power that's going to break the chains away, And then we're going to be pursuing our beloved. So we want that union with our beloved, right? That spiritual union with whatever our beloved is, okay? It doesn't mean necessarily another physical person, right? An ideal, a goal, a spiritual goal. I think that union here is the way to complete and utter fulfillment of your being, of you as a person, as a unique individual human being. Okay, I think, lust or strength card here, because that's going to be, one, the lust and the strength to break those chains. And then it's also kind of represents that union, right? It's the woman and the beast. It's the two. It's the kind of the human and the animal kind of, coming together, joining forces to pursue union with the beloved. I think this is going to be the lust or strength card. The 11th mystery of the tarot. And there it is. Beautiful card, beautiful energy. This is really you just taking the reins, taking the wheel and pursuing your beloved. And I think you're in for a really, really special week. I really do. I think that this smooth sailing that we wanted, it's going to be interrupted by all of this fire. But you know what? That's good. Because the fire, I think, is what you need to really fuel this, to propel this whole process for you, to really, really kickstart it, Anyway, we're going to do an extended. If you want to stick around, please click on the link that's right up here. You can have access to all of the extended readings that we do. This was your weekly reading, March 26th through April 1st on Dove and Serpent Tarot.